Thank you.
Huge hit last night. Huge hit last night. Thank you very much.
You got to go more. He's getting ready, loaded for bear, huh? I can throw it here somewhere. Can we get one more thing on the time zone? Okay, this is down. Okay.
Working the bill is a Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, Muslim student army for Senator Brownback. You know, all the Catholic grandmas will be praying to our mother. For the Senator, all the sisters in the world, right in the chat. So we got to be on the ground doing the work for Senator Brownback. Make sure you fill out this card and put your name in the database by the state. The state you go to school at and the state you live for. And then whenever the senator is in your state, we're going to contact you and we're going to tell you how you can help out. So without further ado, I'm going to give the microphone back to Ray. He's going to introduce the senator. Thank you.
Senator, how do you do?
And thank you all for attending this very exciting event. This evening, we will hear about the leadership and philosophies of a true conservative. A man who spent his career embodying the ideals of family, faith, and freedom. A man who just yesterday announced from Topeka, Kansas, that he will be running for President of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Senator Brownback. Blanket everything for you guys with your efforts, and I really appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you being here on the March for Life. I appreciate you coming out for this great cause. We are winning the battle for life in America, and it's because of you. People look at that last election cycle and say we're losing the battle for life. That cycle was not about abortion. That was about the war. We continue to move the pro-life agenda forward and just keep pushing on forward. We're now a majority pro-life country. That was the first time. I don't know quite how to put this, but my generation didn't do that. It was your generation that's making this a pro-life country. You know, you just got to keep pushing it. And talk to people like my generation, older, and say, here is why I'm pro-life, because it happens to be a life. And it happens to be important, and I'm willing to fight for it, and fight for it here, and fight for it every day, and reach out and talk with your fellow students. And even when it's kind of tough, you know, when you're sitting there and you're having coffee with somebody, and they're talking about things that, you know, that are not pro-life, and you say, you know, I happen to be pro-life. And just reach out and talk with them and engage them on this battle. It's a great story that a friend of mine saw that Mother Teresa was part of when she was early on in her work in Calcutta. She was going door to door, and she was asking and raising funds for her orphanage. And she goes up to this one door, knocks on the door, the guy looks at her, sees her, and spits in her face. And she takes her habit, she wipes it off, she says, thank you, that was for me, I need that for my humility, now I need something for the kids. And he gave her some money. And my point in saying that is there are going to be a lot of times in this kind of fight that you're going to feel like people are just spitting in your face. You know, like, you know, if they could, they would, and maybe sometimes they may actually do it. But it isn't about you. That may be for your own humility. It's about the next generation. It's about kids. It's about that next group coming. It's about having children out there that wouldn't be there if you didn't speak up to somebody. Because people, it matters what you do. If you just talk with somebody, we're going to change, and Roe versus Wade is going to be no more. That is... But every day you got to reach out and talk with somebody. And some of you have heard me tell this, but one of the reasons I'm so pro-life is a little girl I met in China about 7.5 years ago, named Jen Yi Dan, was left at an orphanage in Shantou City. Her mother had carved a little mark on her, a small slight mark on her stomach, in the hopes that maybe someday she might find her again. Yesterday, that girl was standing next to me on the stage. Her name's now Senator Brownback. She's almost 9 years old, and she just won her 3rd grade spelling bee contest. I mention her to you because some woman in China, who I will likely never meet, fought for her. And because of that, I have a little girl that I can go in and give a kiss to at night. And I regularly pray for her mother, who like I say, I will never meet. It's unlikely I'll ever meet her or ever know who she is. But somehow she fought through a system that would have paid for an abortion for her, would have encouraged that she had an abortion. But she fought through that and somehow gave life to this child and then saw fit to take her to an orphanage so somebody else could raise her. And because of that, this child lives. I mean, that's the sort of impact one person makes in this system. And isn't it important enough if you fight your whole life for pro-life issues and you only save one child? Isn't that enough? I mean, we want to save all of them, but one is important. And you guys are right at the age where people are making decisions of whether or not, you know, maybe I'll have an abortion, or maybe I won't. Or maybe I'm going to encourage my friend to go, yeah, abortion's okay. Or maybe if this child is, the mother has a test, a genetic test, and the child has Down syndrome, that you say, well, you know, that'd be awfully tough raising a Down syndrome child. Yeah, my friend's okay in doing that. And you're ones that can push back and say, no, every one of those children is precious. There's a waiting list for people to adopt Down syndrome children in this country. Even though we're committing a infanticide and killing about 80–90% of the children diagnosed with Down syndrome. I mean, you guys are right in the trenches where this battle is fought every day. And you just got to speak up, and if you don't speak up, it's wrong. I mean, you really have a duty to speak up and to make this different. And so just reach out and do it. That's part of why I'm in this fight and why yesterday I announced for President of the United States. And when we win this one here, it's going to have ramifications around the world. Russia is at 150 million population, headed to 100 million. And they're starting to pay women to have children. There's so many people that have aborted children there. You see them starting to pay to have children in Japan and in other countries. When we get our moral voice back on this, we're going to be able to talk more around the world about these sorts of issues. And it's going to be important. And we need to lead from our goodness. That's the best way we can move this on forward. So I'm in the battle. It is a great battle. It's one we fight with your young legs that you have, because you guys are out there and digging into it every day. I'm going to be pushing other issues as well. I believe that we've got a terrible tax code and we need to move to an alternative flat tax so you can pick what started in D.C. last year saying, well, let's try it here and give people a choice.